This is what a crispy grilled chicken skin actually looks like. You've grilled a whole chicken and the skin came out rubbery. The breast came out dry and the thighs weren't done yet. It's not you, it's the shape. One cut fixes all three, and let me show you how. I present to you the Spatchcock Chicken. I've got a bird here from the store, about 3.5 to 4 pounds. Cost me about $5 or $6. The first thing we're going to do is cut off all the extra bits of skin and fat and clean out the giblets. I'm also going to take off that nubby little tail, the whole neck. These extra bits just have a tendency to burn and then they cause char that's unnecessary on the bird. I will put those aside in a freezer bag and then I will use them for stock or soup later. We're going to do shears down both sides of the spine. We take the backbone out so the bird lays flat. Flat means every part sits at the same height, so the breast and the thighs finish at the same time instead of one drying out, waiting on the other. It's very important that you dry this completely, so I'm just going to rub it down with a copious amount of paper towels. And as you might have seen, I did a little bit of a split there on the breastbone. That's not 100% necessary. You can also just lay it flat on its back and press down. But I like to give it a little split. Now I'm going to put a very minimal amount of oil on it. This oil is just going to help the rub coat stick to it. So you're going to pat it bone dry before the rub. Wet skin steams. Dry skin's crisp. If you've got time, leave it uncovered in the fridge for a few hours. Spatchcock probably comes from the 18th century Irish, dispatch the cock, a fast way to flatten and cook a bird when you're in a hurry. 300 years later, still the move. Here's why the dry skin matters. Browning. The Maillard reaction can't even start until the surface water is gone. Wet skin caps itself at a boiling temp and just steams. Dry it out and it can finally climb past 300 and crisp. I'm going to start this cookout at 375 degrees, and as you'll see, I'm going to go skin down. You want to tuck those legs kind of around there, and you're also going to tuck the wings in. The more compact, the less likely those will burn and crisp up too much. Always put your meat probe in there. About halfway through the cook, which took just a little over 45 minutes, I flip that over so that the back side is down. What this is going to do is this is going to reverse all those juices and get those headed south. I'm also going to check the temp. You're looking for like 165 in the breast, 175 in the thigh, somewhere in there. Anyways, you can see that that skin is already starting to crisp up. I like to replace my probe after I flip the chicken just to make sure I have the right spot and I'm not missing anything. You don't want to get a chicken off the grill and start cutting into it and have it be, raw on the inside. That would be a bad deal. So at about the 47-minute mark, my temp probe was reading 165 in that breast. So I come out here and I pull that off. Now I'm going to show that to you. I'm going to set that out to cool down just a little bit. About 10 minutes is all it needs before I start cutting into that. It's still going to be piping hot. You can see I'm using my fingertips there. But can you see how easy that's cutting? That meat is just about fall off the bone tender. It's so juicy, and boy, this left a mess on my counter afterwards. So as you can see, I'm taking that apart pretty easily. But watch that freaking breast. Watch the juices flow out of that. This thing is juicy. That skin is crispy. So crispy that I'm not even hardly able to cut through it. But this chicken turned out fantastic. This turned out to be a great chicken. Look at all those juices left. So the quickest way to cut a chicken up is start up on that shoulder. Just cut that wing off at the joint. Look how crisp that is. Then we're going to cut that leg off, and we can remove the leg from the thigh. And then the breast, you're just going to chop straight down on that. Chop smooth like butter. So tender, so juicy. And I decided to make a nice bean salad to go with this. But before I did so, I decided to put the whole chicken back together in bits and pieces on the cutting board so you can see. You can see those bits that are wrapped in skin. Really did get a nice crisp and a shine on them. Well, the breast just remains juicy and tender, and this just turned out great. Because I cooked it at such a high heat, you can't really see any kind of smoke ring. Obviously, the skin has some smoke flavor because the Rectech Bullseye 380X does that. I guess I forgot to mention that when I flipped that bird over, I cranked the heat up to 400 to finish it off. Get that nice crispy skin. So we're going to take a smattering of all kinds of pieces of meat here. We're going to take that wing, one of the thighs, because I do like the dark meat, and then a few slices of that breast meat. Sorry for the extreme glare. And then some of that bean salad. This was a perfect pairing, tangy, hearty, delicious. Hope you enjoyed the video. Come back again.